Greetings. It is I, Susie Q, with another question and answer session. I've got a beautiful divine being here that just did the gonging for us, and I love it because it was so subtle, and beautiful sound vibrations are always part of my vibe. I love it. And so I've got a beautiful friend here, and he's going to ask me a couple questions. It could be one or two or whatever he wants to do, but I'm happy to engage with him and see if I can get more guidance for myself as well.
I have a question.
Okay.
So I've studied at length innate intelligence in my profession,
Hmm.
and I want to know if you think that your automatic writing is coming from the same source.
Yes. The answer is yes. There's so many different names when we're looking at innate intelligence. And with the idea of innate intelligence, it could be what we call the Akashic records. It could be called precognition. It could be synchronicities or deja vu, or I got a gut instinct, or, you know, something I was thinking about somebody that I absolutely love, and all of a sudden it was on the radio. It's a favorite song that you used to love to hear, and that reminds you of somebody that's already gone. Innate intelligence has many forms, and it's like people have to really kind of dial into what is innate form. But there's so many ways that we can look at life. It's so powerful when we engage more deeply with what we call the innate intelligence. Now, the person that's here that kind of proposed that question is he's a chiropractor. And definitely with the work that he does, and I think everybody's got these bands of energies, but they can't quite discern it, they can't quite understand it, and they're not really listening to that still small voice in your head. There's still all that messaging from the body. So going back to the person that's here as a chiropractor, is that we really see through the eyes of another person while they're in a session with the chiropractor. And I've sat in there before. I've witnessed the energy that's been flowing through the space from the minute the person comes into the door and they move into the treatment room. All of that innate intelligence is already coming in. It's already kind of wrapping into a beautiful state of energy. Now, certainly the energy of the chiropractor already has his energy in the space. And then as soon as the patients come in, they start blending with the patient's energy as well. Now, there's some terms too, what we call applied kinesiology. And so that's a way that a person can get different insights from just having a regular session. I'm not a chiropractor, but I just acknowledge that space, which is the applied kinesiology. You could say that source energy from AK or applied kinesiology is truly innate energy. And when I'm observing this chiropractor, I just acknowledge that. I don't know that he's totally aware of what he's creating in the field. I know that he has all these practices. He's been a doctor for many, many years. But when I sit in there and sometimes I'm listening or laughing or just being present to another person in a healing journey, is I just acknowledge that when he is working with a patient, he goes to another place. You could say he's working on the patient, or you could see that he has a different way of looking at things through not just AK or applied kinesiology, but there's something else that's conspiring to help him to get more guidance for his patients. And that's what I really see, is that there's so many qualities. You could have anybody that you know that really is engaging with life and experiencing, uncanny, unusual, and amazing experiences, is that it's really important just to focus on exactly what it is that you really want. So when we're looking with innate intelligence, especially with this doctor, is that he is engaging with something that I can't decipher what it is, but he's definitely, it's kind of like the dristi. In yoga is eyes half open, eyes half closed. That's dristi. That's kind of that consciousness when he's working on the patient, and he's maybe looking at the patient, but there's another way that he's looking too as well. So I always acknowledge that. And I think a lot of people are beginning to wake up to having better experiences with healing, with relationships, and with their idea of what is abundance, what is prosperity. So I think the all of these energies are like so completely perfect. They're completely perfect. And even if a person is just beginning to acknowledge innate intelligence is just it's just this band of energy, and it's always been with you. It's like you finally wake up and you finally realize that that is who you are. The innate intelligence is exactly who you are, and sometimes it takes a while for a person to step into that state of consciousness to acknowledge that yes, something is conspiring within me to as a chiropractor that to help that person, the patient that's at the office. That innate intelligence is always working with us. Do you have another question?
Let's see. I mean, that was pretty thorough. So I think that's what I was thinking too. Um, I don't have one right now. Sorry.
Okay, that's good. So these things are showing up. It's kind of like sparks of light or little light, those light, those little light bugs. I don't even know what they're called. Fireflies. They're like fireflies. So all of a sudden, all of us, we're all energy. Energy is everything there is. It's all energy. We're all energy beings. Even these fireflies are that as well. But we just start kind of waking up to things, and sometimes you're already doing it without really perceiving how it really works. But I think some of this energy right now is coming through so brilliantly. And with this chiropractor, he is an amazing chiropractor. He helps so many people, and he's beloved in his area of in Tempe, Arizona. So there's a lot of goodness here that we could share more. But I love it when I have questions, and it's fun. It's super fun when they are in person here to ask a question. So I think that's it. So, super happy to share some of these things about innate intelligence and finding those commonalities with some of the things you're already working with, and just start realizing that innate intelligence is always with you. It's always been, before you even came in as a human being, that innate intelligence has already been there in your field. So, anyway, have a great day and namaste.